Race to the automatic spots over in League 2 is hot to bloody trot. That's right, Walsall might be on their own, but who will join them in League 1 next season? We're going to take a look at that and much more next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video. We're going to talk about match day number 34 this week. That's right. We'll get to it in a second. If you know where you've been, smash your subscribe button. You want to stop short for League 2, Papa Rovers, World Football. We're going to all hear under one Rooski. That is right. Coming into this match week, anybody from, where are we looking at? All the way down to 6th spot could be in the automatics at the end of this week's matches. That's right. We'll take a look at what I'm talking about in just a second. If you knew where you've been. And a big shout out to the members, big shout out to the patrons, you know who you are. So what we're going to do now, though, is revisit the last round of games and, of course, kick on forward to a busy week over in League 2. So sit tight, hold on. Here we go, guys. That's right. Looking forward to this game, are we? Or this week. But we'll get to that in a minute. Let's take a look back at last week, and these were the results. So, of course, my predictions are on the left. The real deals are on the right there. So Crewe picking up a 2-0 win. Well, that was my pick. 3-0 win as it was over Barrow. I went with a 2-0 win. Walsall did get a 2-0 away win against Morecambe. I went with a draw. Doncaster with a 2-1 win over Accrington. Stanley got on spot on the nose. Bradford with a 2-0 win over MK Dons. Got that one spot on the nose. Bromley with a 2-0 win over Harrogate Town. I went with a 1-0 win. Carlisle could only draw against Gillingham. I went with a 2-1 win. Colchester 1, Wimbledon 1. I went with a home win on that one. Grimsby with a 2-1 win over Fleetwood Town. I went with a score draw there. Cheltenham Town 3-0 winners against Newport County. I went the other way. Notts County did beat Tranmere 2-1. I went with a 2-0 win. Vale back to winning ways with a 2-1 win over Salford. I went with a 3-1 win. And Swindon Town beating Chesterfield 1-0. I went with a 2-1 away win. Oh, wow. So this is, of course, the situation we find ourselves right here, right now. I'll bring up the table, and there it is. It is, of course, Walsall right now. They're still out on their own, still comfortable for the moment, but it could change drastically. If they lose this week, they could actually only be 6 points clear at the top of the table, of course. Going down right now is Carlisle. It is Morecambe. That looks to be a very small race there. Tranmere could get sucked into it. You can't realistically rule out Accrington, Stanley. Meanwhile, the race for the playoffs is still hot to trot, with Salford still on the outside, potentially. But realistically, Grimsby and up are well and truly in that playoff and even automatic race at the moment. So that's the state of play right there. Of course, this is where I typically bring you an updated Super or Prediction League. I'm not doing that just now. We just did that last time around. So if you missed it, go check that video out. But I'm going to be it's still running. Of course, I just don't really have the time to do the regular update. So we'll give you an update maybe at the end of March. So I'll let those stockpile up there. And, of course, keep you guys guessing to see who's doing well and who's doing absolutely horrific. Anyway, we're going to go to these round of games. Now, these games kicking us off, I think they're going to start on Thursday, the 27th of Feb. But there are 4 catch-up games right here, right now. And I'm just going to give you my gut feeling here. I'm not going to talk too much about them. I'm just going to float over them and then give you my opinion. We're going to start with, again, they're all taking place today. Starting with Bromley against Bradford. Of course, Bromley doing all right just outside the playoffs. Bradford well and truly in it. It's a very difficult one to call this one. I'd probably lean towards a draw. Bookies give it Bradford just. Cheltenham against Walsall. Tabletoppers Walsall doing okay. They've been a little bit off the boil of late, but still tip at the top of the table. Against a Cheltenham side who've not really performed this season. Let's go with an away win on that one, Walsall. Gillingham against Fleetwood Town, 2 sides that could do with some wins and fast. Bookies very, very split. They go with Gillingham. I'll probably just give it to Gillingham, maybe a 1-0 win in that one. And then a bit of a Northwest crunch clash finally to wrap up Tuesday's matches. It's Tranmere, it is Accrington, Stanley. Both sides down the foot of the table. This is, of course, could be a big win for Accrington Stanley if they can get over the line against Tranmere. Really put them in the drop zone. Tranmere are favoured with the bookies. I'm going to go with a 1-0 win Accrington Stanley, maybe against the bookies on that one. So let's get into the games that are taking place this coming match week. We're going to start with Barrow against Carlisle, coming over at Barrow. Andy Wing's boys there, 18th for the table, 37 points for the season. They have just won twice in the last 6. Against Carlisle and Mark Hughes, just back-to-back games without a loss. They are still rock bottom with with 23 points. It's actually been back-to-back draws for them, and then winless in at least the last 6. They played 9 times, these two clubs, since 2018. 2 wins Barrow, 5 wins Carlisle, 2 draws between the two sides. Last time around, over at Barrow, it was a 1-0 win for Carlisle back in April 2023. The reverse fixture, a 1-0 win for Carlisle. Carlisle actually unbeaten against Barrow over the last 3, conceding just 1 goal in those last 3 games, scoring 7 in return. Carlisle on the back of that 0-0 draw gets Gillingham back-to-back scoreless draws, back-to-back games without a goal. In fact, they haven't scored a goal in the last 3. Barrow on the back of successive defeats themselves, losing Cheltenham and Crewe, but both of those games were on the road. The odds for this one, going to hop over to this screen. It's even Stevens for your Barrow. 3-1 is your Carlisle. 12-5 is the draw on this. I'm going with, I think I'm going with Barrow just to nick it. 2-1 win in their own backyard. If it was the other way in Carlisle, then I'll probably be saying a success for Carlisle. Meanwhile, we go Salford up against Bradford. Could be a big week for Salford, potentially getting into that top 6, and who knows, maybe even more. However, Salford coming into this under Carl Robinson, 9th in the table, 48 points for the season, just 1 win in the last 6 games. Bradford on the flip side under Graham Alexandra, they are 5th right now, 57 points for the season, just 1 defeat in the last 6. They have played Salford 12 times since 2019, 5 wins Salford, 4 wins Bradford, 3 draws between the two sides. I think Graham Alexandra did manage Salford for a point. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure about the other way around. Did Carl Robinson manage Bradford? I don't know. Anyway, coming into this last round over at Salford, it was a 2-1 win for Bradford back in April 2024. The reverse fixture, a 0-0 draw over at Vale Parade. Salford on the back of that 2-1 loss to Port Vale, back-to-back away losses for Salford. Bradford on the back of that important 2-0 win over MK Dons. The odds right here, right now, we're looking at it. It is slightly favoured in favour of Salford. Not for me, though. I'm going to go with a 2-1 away win here against the bookies' odds. And, of course, going with, I say form right now. Meanwhile, Tranmere Rovers up against Port Vale. A bit of a northwest encounter. Coming over at Tranmere. Nigel Atkins still at the helm. Winless in at least the last 9 games. 22nd in the table. 28 points for the campaign up against Port Vale. Darren Moore, just 1 defeat in the last 6. They are 6th right now. 55 points for the season. They played Tranmere 36 times since 1994, 17 wins for Tranmere, 11 wins for Port Vale. There's been 8 draws between the two sides. Last time around over at Prenton Park, it was a 1-1 draw way back in February 2022. The reverse fixture at Vale Park, it was a 0-0 draw back in August. In fact, the last 3 between these two sides, whether home or away, have ended up all square. Port Vale on the back of that 2-0 win over Salford, back-to-back wins for them. Tranmere on the back of that 2-1 loss to Notts County. The odds, they'll go with Port Vale. I'll tell you the odds right here. And that's 5-2 is your Tranmere, 50-13 is your Port Vale, 23-10 is your draw here. I'm going Port Vale as well. 2-0 winners in the end. Wimbledon, that's right, Wimbledon to you and I, against Bromley. Of course, coming at you over at Cherry Records Lane. Wimbledon under Johnny Jackson. They are 3rd in the table, 57 points for the season. They are unbeaten in at least the last 6, but back-to-back draws coming into this. Bromley and Andy Woodman, they are unbeaten in at least the last 4. They've won 3 on the spin, and they played Wimbledon 4 times since 2008. 2 wins for the Dons, 1 win for Bromley, and 1 draw. Bromley in 10th right now with 45 points for the season, and they last played Wimbledon at this very venue. It was a 3-1 win for Wimbledon back in August 2008 in the National League South. The reverse fixture, a 2-0 winners for Bromley way back in August 2024. The Dons on the back of successive draws, drawing with Fleetwood and Colchester. Both of those games were on the road. Bromley on the back of successive wins here, actually 3 wins on the spin. They haven't conceded a goal in the last 3. The bookies on this one, Wimbledon 2019 on for the victory, 3-1 is your Bromley. We've got the draw at 13-5. Going to go with a Wimbledon victory here, 3-1 winners. They're in the mixer and they could be heading back to League One. Cheltenham Town up against Grimsby, coming at you over in Cheltenham. Cheltenham under Michael Flynn right now, 58% form for them. They are 11th with 44 points for the season. Back-to-back wins up against Grimsby. The David Artell, they are 8th, 4 wins on the spin for them. They played Cheltenham 19 times since 2004, 7 wins apiece and 5 draws. Last time around over at Cheltenham, it was a 3-1 win for Grimsby back in October 2020. The reverse fixture, a 3-2 win for Grimsby back in August. Grimsby are actually unbeaten against Cheltenham over the last 5, picking up 3 wins and a couple of draws. And the Grimsby, I can't remember their nickname at the moment, but anyway, they go on the back of a 2-1 win over Fleetwood. 4 wins on the spin for Grimsby right now, looking A-OK. Up against Cheltenham on the back of a 3-0 win themselves over Newport County. The odds right here right now, Cheltenham 7-5 for the victory, 37-19 is your Grimsby, and 12-5 is the draw. This one's a tricky one. Got my feelings all over the place, but a 2-1 home win, Cheltenham snatching. Just don't know. They could actually get themselves closer to those playoff spots as well. Doncaster Rovers against Newport County coming at the Keep Moat. Doncaster and Grant McCann, they are second right now, 58 points for the season, but just 2 wins the last 5 matches. Newport County on the flip side, Nelson Jardins boys, they're 16th for the table, 40 points for the season, coming into on back-to-back games without a win. They played 7 times since 2016, so 2 wins for Doncaster, 4 wins for Newport. There's been 1 draw between the two sides. Last time around over at Keep Moat, it was a 1-0 win for Newport County back in January 2024. The reverse fixture also a 3-1 win for Newport County, who have won 4 on the spin against Doncaster Rovers. Doncaster on the back of that 2-1 win over Stanley. Newport losing though to Cheltenham to make it back-to-back games without a goal. The odds right here right now, Doncaster are 9-4 on for the victory, 7-1 is your Newport County, 41 or 4-10 or 4-1 is the draw here. Gonna go with the Doncaster victory. Of course, we are 2-0 winners at the Keep Moat. Let's go to Chesterfield then, shall we? Up against Crewe, a bit of a Northwest crunch clash this one. Chesterfield under Paul Cook, they are 13th for the table, 42 points for the season, just 1 win in the last 4 matches. Up against Crewe under Lee Bell, 42% form for them right now, just 1 win in the last 6. They are still in the mixer there, 7th in the table, 52 points for the campaign. They have played Chesterfield 16 times since 2003, 7 wins for the hosts, 6 wins for the visitors, and there's been 3 draws between the two sides. Last time around at Chesterfield, it was a 2-0 win for Crewe back on Boxing Day 2017. The reverse fixture over at Gresty Road, it was a 5-0 win for Chesterfield back in August. Chesterfield on the back of that 1-0 loss to Swindon. It's actually been back-to-back losses for them, but both of those games were on the road. The last time they were at home, though, they put 5 past Doncaster Rovers. Crewe on the back of a 3-0 win over Barrow. They make it back-to-back games without conceding a goal. The odds for this one are 20-19 on your Chesterfield, 31-10 or 3-1 is your Crewe, 45-17 is your draw here. Going to go with a 1-1 draw, point apiece. Which is probably a bigger point for Crewe than it is Gillingham. Speaking of, not Gillingham, I think Chesterfield. Next up, it is Gillingham. They're taking on Morecambe, coming at you over at Gillingham. John Coolman coming at you, 19th for the table, 35 points for the season, 3 draws on a row for them. Against Morecambe under Derek Adams, they are 23rd in the table, 26 points for the season, just 1 win in the last 5. They have played Gillingham 13 times, 2008, 8 wins Gillingham, 1 win for Morecambe. There's been 4 draws between the two sides. Last time around, over at this very venue, it was a 2-1 win for the Gills back in September 2023. The reverse fixture, a 1-0 win for Gillingham back in August to make it 3 wins on the spin. That's right. Gillingham are actually unbeaten against Morecambe over the last 6. They're coming into this on the back of 3 successive draws. Morecambe on the back of 2 successive defeats, back-to-back games without scoring a goal. And those last 2 games were at home as well, so not good. Good stuff there. Meanwhile, coming into this, the bookies odds, Gillingham are 2019 on for the victory, 3-1 is your Morecambe, 5-2 is the draw. We are going with a 1-0 win Gillingham. Morecambe look toast, unfortunately. Looks like they're going back to non-league. I was hoping they could get it out. Meanwhile, Fleetwood Town up against Notts County. Fleetwood Town under Pete Wild. They are 14th for the table, 41 points for the season, just 1 win in the last 6. Up against Notts County under Stuart Maynard. They are 4th right now, 1 defeat in the last 6. They have played Fleetwood 4 times to 2013. 2 wins Fleetwood, 1 win for Notts County, 1 draw between the two sides. Last time around over at Fleetwood, it was a 2-1 win back in February 2015 in League One. The reverse fixture, though, a 2-2 draw this season back in August over in Notts County. Grimsby did beat Fleetwood 2-1 last time around. Notts County beating Tranmere last time around. The odds right here, right now, we are looking at, what are we looking at? We are looking at Fleetwood Town, a 50-8 for the hosts, 8-5 your visitors, 23-10 is the draw. I'm going to go with a 2-1 away win here. Notts County taking it to the bloody house. Harrogate Town, they're up against Accrington. Stanley, that's right. Coming over in Harrogate, Simon Weaver's boys are 20th with 33 points for the season, just 1 win in the last 6. Up against Stanley under John Doolan, they're 21st in the table, 30 points for the season. They're winless also in the last 6. They played Harrogate 4 times since 2023, 1 for Harrogate, 2 for Accrington. There's been 1 draw between the two sides. Last time around over in Harrogate, it was a 2-1 win back in Boxing Day 2023. The reverse fixture, a 3-3 thriller over in Stanley. Stanley on the back of that 2-1 loss to Doncaster. Harrogate losing to Bromley most recently. The odds right here, right now, 13-8 is your Harrogate, 7-4 is your Stanley, and 12-5 is the draw. Going to go with a 1-1 draw here down the middle. A point apiece doesn't do anything anything for anybody. Into the final two, we have MK Dons up against Colchester. That's right, Scott Lindsay's boys are 17th with 39 points for the season. They are winless in the last 5 up against Colchester. Danny Cowley, they're unbeaten in at least the last 6, but 3 draws in a row. They played 26 times in 2004, 14 wins MK Dons, 8 wins for Colchester. There's been 4 draws between the two sides. Last time around, of course, over at Stadium MK, it was a 1-0 win back in December 2023. The reverse fixture, a 2-0 win for Colchester back in August. Meanwhile, they've also played this season in the EFL Trophy Southern. It was a 2-1 win for Colchester back in September. So they're looking for a three-peat, of course, but this match taking place Stadium MK. MK Dons on the back of that 2-0 loss to Bradford. Colchester on the back of 3 successive draws, drawing with Carlisle, Notts County and Wimbledon. The odds for this one, though, looking at it, MK Dons 17-11, but they're actually 2-1 is your Colchester and 12-5 is the draw. I'm going with a 2-2 thriller, point in the bag. MK Dons, Colchester continuing that run of draws themselves. And then finally, it is tabletop as Walsall is Ian Holloway's boys coming at you over at the Bescot. Walsall with Matt Sadler, top of the pops, 66 points for the season, 2 wins on the spin for them after a recent run of bad results. Swindon under Ian Holloway, just 1 defeat in the last 6. They're 15th right now, 41 points for the season. They played 36 times since 1999, 12 wins apiece and 12 draws. That's right. Coming at you last time around over at Walsall, it was a 2-1 win back in April 2024. The reverse fixture, a 4-0 win for Walsall at Swindon. Swindon on the back of that 1-0 win over Chesterfield. Walsall with a 2-0 win over Morecambe. The odds here, 5-4 on is your Walsall, 4-1 is your Swindon, 11-4 is the draw. I'd love to see a Swindon victory here, but Walsall will win it. 2-1 win at the Bescot. And if I'm right, this is what the table will look like, guys, at the end of the weekend of action. Again, it doesn't bear in mind those extra games that are taking place today. So it'll look a little bit like this. Anyway, make sure you get involved, subscribe, smash the like, get your predictions in. Of course, we'll be back very, very soon for the next one. But until then, we'll see you soon on the other side. Keep on predicting.